Howdy, folks. I'm Rebecca from Jolly Alchemy, and I would like to explain something real quick so that we can have an understanding about what's going on this channel. I'm trying my best to keep the format like people want to see it, as like I'm some sort of expert speaking to people who know less about about this system that I understand or I'm coming into an understanding of, but it's not exactly the tone that I want to take. What I want to take as more of the proper tone is, here's what I'm working out. Part of it is coming from a place of increasing knowledge and expertise, and part of it is just trying to understand this metaphor within the larger scope of what's going on. So as above, so below, right? What's going on global and universal sort of themes, all the way down to what's happening with me, particularly in my life. And I see, as part of the weakness of social media, that people tend to try to be in their videos showing this persona of, oh, this is me and my perfect life. It's also wonderful, and here's the size and shape of the wonderfulness. Or, oh, let's exclaim at the size and shape of the brokenness, even though I'm really actually very wonderful. What I'm really striving for is authenticity. So I'm not really making videos when I'm feeling down. I do feel down sometimes, but the only reason I'm not making videos and showing you videos when I'm down, and maybe I will at some time so that you can see, the reality of my process. But I want to show both the strength and the grit of what's happening in my world, because what's happening in my world is a microcosm, as it is for all of us. But not all of us have this ability to access genius in our explanations, and many people do, because it's a right angle cross. So yeah, it's a right angle cross. So that means there's 4 different kinds of explanation. An explanation as a cross is coming up 4 times in the year. So that's a lot. So there are a lot of people who have the ability to explain things, but that's just because we need a lot of things explained to us in the world. What's possible through the genius of what I'm doing is finding the ability to explain the system. So we're learning from quantum physics that this is a virtual reality trainer in which we're here for a brief time. It seems real. It feels like it's real and solid, but really what it is just a thick dream or an illusion, a mass illusion, and also a personal illusion. But we're sharing this illusion, or delusion, as some might say. And so there is an aspect to it that is governed by a rule set. And in playing this game, as with any game, it's much easier to win the game if you know what the rules are. So if you understand the rule set, and Humun Design helps us to understand the rule set. Okay, good. And we also need explainers to help us understand the rule set. But the cheat sheet is also a very complicated thing in its own right, because it has to be, in order to be able to explain the massive amounts of complexity that we see in this world. So what I'm wanting to do is have a forum from which I can exercise my genius and explanation and my insights from having explored this very complex and, I think, robust metaphor for life, but also not to come across as, I figured it all out, I know everything, I think I know a lot of things, but then backing myself out of the corners in which just life has taken me as a human without having this insight and this metaphor to guide me is part of what I want to show. So I've gotten to a point where, oh, okay, I'm starting to see where I'm broken, where I'm fixed, what things are working and what things are not working. And more I'm able to explain those things. But I don't want to be like I don't want to be revered. I want students, but I don't want worshipers, so it's kind of it's not differentiated in the term follower, oh, I have so many followers on my channel or whatever. Yeah. I would really ideally like to make sure that the people who are following me as the numbers get bigger and bigger are following me for what I want to be followed for. I want to be followed for my ability to explain insights into a larger way of seeing and understanding this whole virtual reality trainer that we're using. But I don't want anyone to think that I was born a genius. I'm a 3, and it's really the definition of a 3 to have fucking done it the hard way. And that's what I've done. But the good part of that is having done it the hard way, or having done it the hard way, gotten to this place actually the hard way, I am much more able to see other people doing it the hard way and to help them go, I see you doing it the hard way. I already tried that. It doesn't work. But this actually does work better. So that's a little bit more of what I'm trying to say here. So if that gives you any idea of what I'm trying to do, what I'm focusing on, and maybe a beginning of an insight into what I'm able to do, then good. If you don't get an insight into that, but you're interested, well, stick around, because not only am I interested in giving these insights, I'm also highly motivated to make it jolly, to make it fun, to make it a game. A lot of times I think we take life too seriously, and that's not good for anybody. It's not good for us. It's not good for the people around us. In the end, it is a joke. So, it's a serious joke, but in the end you just go, wow, the irony gods, that's amazing. It's a joke. So, if you're interested in seeing how it's a joke and how what seems to be heavy for you can be seen as a light thing, then come on and see me, or stick around. Until next time.